Alright, so welcome back, guys. Today we're going to look at how the portfolio performed, as well as we're going to talk about why the market just keeps soaring. And we all know that so far that has to do a lot with the Federal Reserve. But just gonna do a little deeper dive into it. I mean, the SPY is almost right back to where it fell from. It was a fall at 447, currently standing at 443. And just it's been a crazy nonstop 4% move from that little correction right there that the bears were so excited for. And as for the portfolio, I do some updates. So I did trim, or actually got rid of, at least in this account, I got rid of Bark and CRS, which is of course your gaming. Not looking at it to get rid of it permanently. Just I decided to actually focus mostly on Sofi due to the position being a large, due to it this week having a very good, great positive news where we got a price target from an analyst from about $25, which is actually, to be honest, quite the average for Sofi. And I've actually added a little bit more than I had initially, as well as the option that I did buy, which honestly kind of should have bought more. That would have been great. It would have been great to buy some more. The option here is up 26%, about the January 19, 2024. So it's a very safe bet. Not necessarily, not risky in any sense. And the great thing about it is that since it's actually September, getting close to October, actually, we should really hear some news back from the bank charter. Which, if you didn't know, Sofi did apply as an application to be a bank. So we're supposed to get an answer between September and October, and as of right now, we just have a couple days ago, we had an analyst come out and give a large 25% price target, which is essentially a 50% dollar game, which is actually on a more an overall just new a conservative price target, at least according to the analyst. And what I have to say about Sofi is that Sofi does offer a lot of banking and loans and purposes. Yeah, Sofi offers mostly a lot of loans, as well as student loans and car loans. So I think the application should be really easy for it to become a bank. It does already have all the benefits of a bank, or all the options that mostly a bank offers. You can even think of it as a Citibank type of deal, which, think about it, Citibank is mostly a company, though I'm not positive they're a bank. Maybe that's just a name, though it sounds like it would. Citibank is just a online bank, and I think Sofi has a really good chance of most likely doing it. I mean, and I wouldn't understand why they would deny the application when Sofi clearly has all the options and offers a lot of services that most banks do. So it shouldn't be an issue, especially with their with how they manage their risk, and obviously they're they're well backed by investors. So I don't see any reason why Sofi shouldn't actually turn. So what I did was I came here. I took out a couple of positions, and I added mostly to Sofi because I decided, this offers me more. It offers me an opportunity in the short term, and I wanted to take it. So I just sold the other ones. And if I do see any ridiculous drops in Bark or CRS, I'll pick up on them. But as for now, I'm just standing. And if anything, what I realized was that if I'm gonna get in Corsair Gaming to actually have a good short, for a good swing, or a long position, what I should do is actually mostly just focus on the options instead of buying large amounts of shares. Hence why I'm mad at myself on Sofi. I mean, these calls are up now 26% in just a day or so. Yeah, they were about September 20th, now September 23rd. Literally in a day or 2 days, they were already up 26%, if not a little bit more. And as of right now, the portfolio has been a little bit rocky. You can see it, how it fluctuates from on a day-to-day or at least week-to-week basis, where if we finally break around something, then we fall. And that mostly has to do with the market and how the small caps react to whatever SPY is doing, which has been an insane amount of volatility. Even if you look at if you just look at the last 3 months, just is a large amount of volatility compared to the normal amount that you're supposed to get. You could just see dip after dip after dip, and I mean, even the 1 year just shows you how volatile this is. I mean, even if you look at times before this, it did not look as volatile as it currently looks right now. Most you can see a tiny amount of volatility. Maybe you see 1 or 2%. Here you see large amounts of a kind of a rocky road here, and over here, besides the dips, the corrections and the dips that you get from, well, there's I think in 2018 that's when the Fed raised interest rates. So there was a correction right there, but you can see compare these lines over here to these, which you can see how volatile it is, and you can see a massive difference when it comes to that. So the plan for now is to continue with Sofi, but there's a couple names that I'm actually very interested in that I'm mad at myself because I didn't actually get. There was afrm, which I was hoping that we would get around 99 or 98. However, it only went to like 105, 106, and then right now the stock is up. If you would have bought it from there, it was up about 20%. And what I'm noticing is that so afrm was one of those stocks that I wanted to get into, but I just seemed like the valuation was too high. I mean, if you could look at it now, when it first IPO'd, it was about $117 a share. Then it went up to 140, and then you see it go immediately from 140 to literally 50, 40, if not $48, literally losing all those gains. And then this is obviously after the Amazon deal, which you can see the stock spike there, and now it's continued to spike. So it's just the valuation shows you how funny it is, because here the company was valued I don't know, what's the valuation, $34 billion. If Robin is right, it's always wrong. So it was valued at 34, maybe $32 billion around here. And then it fell immediately to 48, which was probably looks like half of that valuation. I mean, I'm not exactly sure. And then you can see it ramp back up after actually good news. So I mean, you can clearly tell that it was overvalued. So it's worth less than when the first IPO. Obviously, it's worth more than when it first IPO, because obviously it got some great news with Amazon. Yet the stock was worth the same when it IPO'd. So you can just see how crazy the market just was, back in February, February 5th, before, everything has, went to shit. So I'm focusing on this one because I think it can turn into an upstart type of situation where it just goes in an insane tear. I mean, if you look at Upstart, it's up 1,500% over the last year, and over the month is up 174%. And that's regardless of anything that the S&P 500 has done, any news. The stock is just on fire, and it looks like it has no chance of stopping. I thought it would stop, but it just refuses to stop. And this was a great trade. Congrats to everybody that got on it. And that's what I feel that the potential is with afrm, because though I know maybe Afterpay doesn't sound like a really big deal, you really have to think of it how they're disrupting that, and also how a lot of people, or a lot of Americans, they love getting into debt. Americans love spending, and that's just a fact that I'm sure we're all aware of. spending. I mean, even the U.S. has a spending problem. If you compare even the government spending, we just love to spend. That's it, and we just love to spend a lot. And I don't think that's gonna really be seen anytime soon. So I think that Afterpay could actually show do a large run just like that, possibly to, who knows, the valuation. Let's say I don't know. Though it already seems a little expensive, a market cap of $34 billion. I mean, this stock is still could still do a lot of things just based on that valuation, and you can compare it to kind of like Square. If not, you can compare SoFi to Square. How Square went from literally $11 in 2016 to essentially, you could say, a 10x, maybe even a 20x of the valuation that it was in just a couple of years. Now, yeah, of course, it trades at a premium, but it just shows you how these tech companies, these you can call it a fintech company too, because it has to do with finance, and this massive deal that they got is really massive, and it's really the only deal that really matters. Even if they get any other partners, that are bigger than Amazon, I mean, sure, I'm sure they might get, or maybe they already have Apple, Microsoft, but Amazon is a very large partner, because those are very large purchases, and Amazon is just known as a shopping place. So yes, you do buy iPhones, you do buy iPads. Amazon is a place where you can get it all, and I mean, literally, it's a year or 2 years away, I believe, from suppressing Walmart when it comes to revenue. So this one's one I'm paying attention to. I may buy some options, may buy some shares, depending on how I see the situation, and let's see what it does tomorrow. But as of right now, the company looks, the stock looks like it's just going to continue to do its thing, just based on if we're comparing it to Upstart and Square and those type of things. Another one, and those two are the only ones going to look at. And SoFi, I think that if we do get bank chartered, we should immediately see 30s, if not the 40s, and then over time we should see larger numbers in that. So we'll see if I keep sizing this position up. I'm already a little mad at myself because I did have to buy a couple more shares and then messed up my cost basis. I mean, before this, my cost basis was like 15.20. So it was $1 less, but that's fine. The options are still doing very well. They're still up 26%. And I'll keep you guys updated with whatever I buy next. As always, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe. I'll keep coming out with more content. Thank you, and have a great day.